Hey everyone, this is OJ here with another edition of Crypto Corner. Now I've been away, I went to London last week, so I haven't really posted anything for a few days, and during that time we did have quite a dip in Bitcoin. So now that I'm back, I've checked my messages and everything, so I've got a lot of messages from people asking me how far can Bitcoin dip? Is it, is it the end of it? Have we seen the bottom yet, or is it still going down? Also, many people were wondering, is it ever going to recover? These are the questions that I'm getting the most on Facebook, on Twitter, even in my email list. I did post a newsletter to my email list. If you're not in my email list, you can go to my website and just join it. I'm doing regular newsletters once or twice a month. I don't really want to be overwhelming people. So I did some technical analysis, and a couple of weeks ago when I posted my newsletter, I did say that we are very likely to be testing the lower levels below 6,000, and that happened when I was away. So last week we went to 5,900, something like that, and we are recovering a little bit right now. But let's take a look at the market and see what's going on at the moment. What can we expect? So if we are looking at CoinMarketCap, which is the website that most of the people are using in order to get all of the latest statistics and see what is going on with the different cryptocurrencies, today we are having a very bright picture, right? Pretty much everything is on green. We are seeing a lot of good gains here on Ethereum Classic, VeChain up more than 12%, Monero is up 13%, EOS is up 11%. So it looks like a recovery or something like that. To be honest, it's a bit early to jump into this conclusion. Let's take a look at another website which I'm using a lot, which is coincheckup.com. This gives me more statistics, and you can actually customize what you are seeing here. So if we are looking at the bigger picture, what we are seeing is that even though in the last day we've had a positive move for a lot of the coins, in the last week we are still in a huge decline. EOS, which gained, well, depending on where you look here, we've gained 8.25%. According to CoinMarketCap, we've gained 11%. In any case, if we look at the weekly statistic, in the last 7 days, EOS is down by more than 20%. And if we look at most of these, you will see that they're on the red. Here in red, this is the 7-day statistic. Pretty much everything is on red. Some of them are quite substantially down from what was just a week ago. If we look at 1 month statistics, then the picture gets even worse, and the 3-month statistic is also not as bright, even though in the 3 months we've seen that Ontology, very successful project, it launched, well, pretty much 3 months ago, so it is 125% up, which is great. EOS is 40% up for the last 3 months, so this is 90-day chart, and in the last 6 months, in fact, it is 88% up. So even though currently EOS is not doing great, overall picture, people who bought EOS long time ago are in profit. Now, what is going on with Bitcoin now? This is really the question that everyone is asking. And oh, Chanel, hey Chanel, how are you doing? So I didn't announce this. This is again one of my very improvised, very impromptu videos. So I didn't actually announce that I'm going to be doing a live, and I'm pretty sure that most of you will be watching this recorded. So I'm not really going to be getting many questions, but Chanel, if you have a question, feel free to post it here, and I'll take a look after I finish with this. So now we are looking at the chart of Bitcoin, and I've drawn here the support levels. Now what happened is, when I was sending my newsletter, which was a couple of weeks ago, we were still somewhere in the 7,600, somewhere around here, and what was happening is many people were hoping that this is, you know, the end of the dip. This is, many people were saying, oh, you know, we are reaching the end of the dip and now we are going to be preparing for the next bull run. The reality is that we haven't actually reached the real floor. We haven't reached the true support, and until we touch the true support, until we bottom really to the absolute floor, we are not going to start the next bull run. This is what's happening with Bitcoin at the moment. We were testing this support level here at the 6,000. Once we were testing it a second time, we didn't actually reach it, but we were trying to test it here. We reached 6,300, and then we came a third time. And this is very important because often we are seeing these kind of levels, support and resistance, of course, being tested at least 3 times, and the third time is crucial, because if the third time doesn't hold, then we are going to be seeing a further decline. That's exactly what happened a few days ago when I was in London. So we came to test that support level for a third time and we broke it. We didn't actually hold there. We broke the 6,300 level. We went down to the 6,000 and we tested the lower support, which was at 5,800, and depending on which exchange, of course, it was either 5,900 or 5,800 and something. So this is the lower support level that we were testing. Now we have a bit of a rebound. This is what's happening currently. If we zoom in here, we will see that over the last few days we've managed to gain about $400. So that is what we are seeing here on cryptocurrency. CoinMarketCap.com, 5% we've gained, not bad, but this is just a correction now. This is just temporary. I wouldn't bet on it. I don't think that we are having a reversal of the trend. We are still in a downtrend, and unfortunately this is what is happening. We are going to be testing that support level at the 5,700. I personally expect that we will go back to test it very soon in the next few days, and possibly we will break it. We might actually break that level, and we should be coming to test the 5,400. I even expect that we'll go lower. We might even go down to 5,300 briefly, of course, because that will be a moment of severe overselling, and of course that is not going to hold for very long. There are many people who are waiting to buy Bitcoin at around that level, but it is also very possible that if we don't hold on to that level, we will be coming down all the way to the 4,000s to test this support level here. Now I don't expect this to be happening very soon. I think we're going to rally around the price, around the 6,000 level for a while, and it really depends on what is happening in the media, whether we get some good news, because currently there is nothing major happening with Bitcoin. We don't really have any major news, any big positive news to actually push the price go up. And this is why I'm expecting that the downtrend which we are currently experiencing will continue. We can see that since the beginning of the year we're in a very steady decline. However, we've tried a few times. We've tried once, second time, third time to go up and reverse that trend. It is not really happening. Last time when we were reversing the trend, which was in May, we didn't actually have any strong fundamentals to make this a reversal of a trend. That was literally just a rebound. So unfortunately we haven't seen the end of this downtrend. This is what's happening. We haven't seen the end of it, and one of the main, I mean, by now I think it's clear to everybody that we have a strong manipulation from corporate money, big money, or smart money if you want. These are the whales, these are all the terms that go with this market. The whales are really pushing Bitcoin down. There is a lot of accumulation happening in terms of corporate money, and a lot of not just banks, but a lot of corporate money is coming into Bitcoin as we speak at this point. These are levels that are convenient for them. Of course, they're going to try and push it even further down, and the big manipulation is happening because of the Bitcoin futures. If you remember, back in November, we heard for the first time that Bitcoin futures will start being traded, and this is when the articles started circulating about how the futures market will actually suppress the price of Bitcoin. At the time, many people didn't believe in it. Many people didn't really think that this is possible. I don't know if you remember this article from CoinDesk, which was quoting the head of the CME group. This is one of the futures who clearly stated, we will tame Bitcoin. And you know, CME and CBOE, these are the main two futures markets, they have managed to suppress the price of Bitcoin just as they promised. They have also done that with gold and silver for the last decade, so even more. So there's no surprise that the Bitcoin price is artificially suppressed at the moment, but also there's no surprise that we're having this retraction, because the price of Bitcoin last year in the summer, it was around 2,500–3,000, and then it started climbing quite rapidly, you know, quite suddenly. Towards autumn, summer in September, we started seeing it climbing from 3,000 to 4,000, a small retraction, then it went all the way to 7,000, and that was really quick. We're talking here in a matter of a month or a couple of months. By October, by the end of October, the price was already over 6,000, which is 100% more than it was in August. So less than 2 months it took for Bitcoin to gain 100%. And this is quite sudden. But what happened after is even more scary. It went parabolic. So if this was exponential growth, here from October until December, it was parabolic. And of course, after such a strong climb, we are expecting a retracement, and that's what happened. At first, it was the natural retraction of the price and you know, what we call a correction. But then the futures markets were really pushing the prices down artificially, because with the futures, you don't actually have to hold the amount of Bitcoin that you're selling. You can place sell orders, you can basically bet on the price without having all of that amount of Bitcoin, which is different than what most of the people are trading Bitcoin like on Bittrex or Bitfinex, Binance, you know, all of these exchanges where you actually have to own the Bitcoin that you're selling, that you're trading with. So this is why futures are so dangerous to Bitcoin, because the suppression here is quite obvious. We can see it happening. Of course, it's not just the futures, it's not only that, but that was one of the major catalysts for the price to really dip to such a low level as we are seeing it today. So right now, what's happening is the price today is pretty much the same as the price was in October. Sorry, that's November, isn't it? Yeah. So the price right now is at the same levels that we were experiencing in November, which means that the last 6 months have been all of the gain from November till December till Christmas has been wiped out. We are back at where we were in November, and we keep going down. We keep testing the lower support levels, and we are definitely trying. I mean, not we, it's the whales, you know, it's the people, the big money that is really trying to push the price even lower. And this is when the accumulation, the big accumulation would really start. Right now, we are not seeing big volumes. We are not seeing any, especially we are not seeing any buy volumes. We are seeing a lot of sell volume, but not so much in the buyers. So it is still a bear market. The bears are really ruling this market, and the bulls are not ready yet. Most of the experienced traders are waiting for signals, are waiting for confirmations to see a possible trend reversal before they start buying, before they get involved again. I know many traders who have exited Bitcoin and are currently just sitting and waiting. They're not doing any trading, they're not even day trading. I know many day traders as well who are doing quite well, because for day trading this current volatility is actually quite good if you know how to analyze the market and you know what to expect. I know people who were really selling at this point and then buying at this point and then selling here and then buying here and selling here, and now they're waiting. I'm waiting as well. I'm not really day trading. I do some swing trading. I do kind of a longer term position trading, and with Bitcoin I don't really have the time to be doing day trading, but this volatility is actually very good for people because you can make money with this. Currently, right now, this week is not exactly volatile, so I don't really know whether you should be opening any positions. I personally am not opening any positions right now. I'm waiting to see what is going to happen in the next few days in order to make my decision whether I will be opening any new positions. But yeah, this is pretty much what's happening with Bitcoin. We are very likely to be testing the lower support levels. Whether we will get all the way down to 4,700, I can't really tell, but it is very likely that we will be going below the 6,000 again. So this is what's currently happening with Bitcoin, and how far it can go. Well, it can go all the way down to this support level, which I believe is quite a strong support level, and it is in the 3,000s. It is 3,300. It is not fixed, of course. This will be a range, so it will be anywhere between 3,500 all the way down to 3,100. But nevertheless, many people are saying that this is a stronger support. So if we keep going down, it is very likely that we will be testing this support level. And the bad thing, the problem, what's happening right now is that many people are really scared because they got into Bitcoin during that rally here, during that parabolic growth in December. And these were people who were looking purely for profits. They didn't even understand the Bitcoin. They didn't know anything about Bitcoin until 2017. And 2017 was really the year of Bitcoin. This is when everyone really got involved. The media got involved. The mainstream media was talking about Bitcoin. They were really hyping it a lot. And of course that was for a reason. People who had never trusted Bitcoin and they have already heard about Bitcoin before but didn't really think that it's a real thing, they even got involved. A lot of my friends started asking me about Bitcoin, wanting to buy Bitcoin in December, when I was telling them that it's not the time to buy, and we were all selling at this point. So people who got involved with Bitcoin during December and even November are really feeling the pressure right now. They have been burned because they have seen, if not losses, they have certainly not seen any gain. But I think many people have seen losses, and that's the problem. And these are the people that are getting out of the game right now. So these are the people that will really lose in the end, because what's happening is all of that downtrend, which is now 6 months, it is making many people very pessimistic about Bitcoin and crypto in general. If we look at the total crypto market cap, it is under 300 billion. And we've been around the 300 billion last week and the week before, and we've kind of broken below the 300 billion a couple of times. But it is absolutely, let me just zoom in here. So basically what we're seeing is that we were, for the most part, we were above the 300 billion. In April we went below that, then we recovered, we went all the way to 400 billion, and then we hovered around the 300. Now we've broken below. It's 250, 240, what is it today? Is 256. Really scary. It means that a lot of money is going out of crypto. People are not trusting crypto anymore. People are scared. People think that crypto is not going to recover, and many people are asking me, is Bitcoin going to go up to the 20,000 again? Is it going to recover to all these, or maybe the 15,000 even? If I have to be honest, I don't think it's going to happen this year. I personally think that we're going to see these kind of levels go. It will start going up again to these levels perhaps next year, but I think that this year will be all about trying to recover at least to the 11 and 12,000 level, which are very strong resistance. And we went to that a couple of times and we didn't manage to break it, so we couldn't. We just couldn't. It is a strong resistance. It is a price that for many people is a selling point because they did get involved around these levels. Every time we get to the 10-11,000, we will be seeing a lot of selling volume, which will keep the price below. And this is why I personally don't know if we're going to be able to break and go up to the 15K this year. It might happen around Christmas again, even though following, you know, if we look at the history, many people, even in December, will not be willing to go bullish on Bitcoin because they would expect straight after December to have another big correction, and they're going to be very careful. So I don't think we're going to have another Christmas like last Christmas. It's not going to be as bullish, and it will be a much more tamed uptrend, if it's an uptrend at all. I do believe that we are still having a strong potential of a reversal of this downtrend, and I do believe that after the summer months, because the summer is never really strong, but after the summer months we should be starting to see the first signs of a reversal of the trend and, you know, getting into the bull market. But we really need to touch the floor first, and we haven't touched the floor. I don't think that the 6,000 is the floor. I believe that we will be going below the 6,000 again, and hopefully this is answering the questions that I get asked the most. So this is what's happening with Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto market. We are seeing that the Bitcoin dominance is going up again. With the whole crypto market being down, people are losing faith in the weaker coins especially. So they're going back to Bitcoin, if anything. But generally, we are losing a lot of capital, and the capital is flowing out of crypto and into fiat or other assets like gold and silver. Currently, the Bitcoin domination is at 41%, which is higher than what we've seen in the last few months. We were below the 40% quite a few times, we can see here. And funny enough, we did go all the way to 54, 57%, so all the way maybe even up higher than 57, I think. Yeah, we went to 62, 64%, and this was in January, but since then we haven't actually seen such a dominance of Bitcoin. People were talking about Ethereum again, people were talking about Ripple a lot, funny enough, and I think the reason why people were talking about Ripple is the fact that it's centralized, and the fact that it's being quite groomed by the banks, and people just feel that it's a cryptocurrency that has a future because of that. I know that most of my friends and most of the people who are true believers in crypto don't really take Ripple seriously, and we don't really like Ripple. However, from an investment point of view and from a trading point of view, it is giving the impression of a safer investment for many people, and this is why we are seeing that Ripple is still going quite strong. In the last 6 months, it is 92% up, and it's one of the few coins in the top 10 that has a positive chart for the last 6 months. But that is 6 months. In the last month alone, it is actually more than 22% down. So, you know, for traders, this volatility is also very good. So this is where we're currently standing. I'm going to wrap this up. I don't want to make this video too long. My prediction for Bitcoin is that it is still going to go lower before we're going to see the trend reversal. The trend has not finished here. We have not seen the end of this dip, and it really makes you think whether you want to be trading right now or waiting. As I said, I know many traders who are not really trading at the moment. They're waiting for stronger signals to see that they can get involved. It is probably too early to start buying yet. So this is it. By the way, tomorrow I will be doing an interview with Exodus. One of the guys who works for Exodus Wallet has agreed to see me, and we're gonna have a live hangout, so tune in. It will be around this time here tomorrow, and we're going to talk about Exodus Wallet, which is one of my favorite wallets. And you know, I've been doing a few videos about Exodus. It is one of the safest web wallets, and it is not a cloud service, which makes it different than most of the other web-based wallets. So if you have any questions about Exodus, tomorrow will be the time to ask them. Then after that, the next day, I will have an interview with another new project that is a gold-backed cryptocurrency. I know that there's a few of those, so I'm going to ask some questions to find out what makes this one different. And you know, for people who are looking into equity tokens and security tokens, you know, assets, things that will be that have the potential to be a bit more stable because they are backed by an asset like gold. I'm sure this will be an interesting interview for you guys, so make sure that you tune in as well. And I've got some more videos coming this week, because I know that last week I was not able to do videos when I was traveling, and I know that you miss me, or I hope that you miss me. Okay. All right, well, thank you for watching, guys. I'm checking here the questions, and I'm only seeing greetings from you, so hello everyone, to all of you who are watching live, and thanks for tuning in live. And if you have any questions later on, just add them in the comments below. I will make sure that I respond to all of you. This is everything for today. Thanks for watching again, and I'm gonna see you tomorrow.